you're fine. You've been fine for months, and then a song comes on, and something in you just breaks open. Not a memory, not a thought, something older than that, something that lives below words. Why does music reach places that nothing else can? Why does a 3-minute song know you better than your own mind does? You know the feeling. You're going about your day, maybe you're driving, maybe you're doing dishes, and then a song starts playing, one you haven't heard in years, and within seconds, your chest tightens, your throat closes, your eyes sting, and you don't even know why. Because it's not always about the lyrics, it's not always about the person, it's something the song is holding, something you buried, something you thought was gone. This isn't weakness, this isn't you being traumatic, this is your brain doing something incredibly precise, something it was literally built to do. Here's what most people don't realize. You are not broken for falling apart over a song. You are not stuck. You are not weak. You are experiencing one of the most sophisticated functions of the human nervous system. Music doesn't just remind you of something, it reconstructs it. It pulls the feeling back into your body, intact, whole, as if no time has passed. That's not a flaw in your healing. That's the architecture of how memory works. And once you understand it, the song stops being a trap. It becomes a map. Let's go inside the brain for a moment. When you experience something emotionally significant, a first love, a loss, a night that changed everything, your brain doesn't just record what happened, it records everything that was happening at the same time. The temperature of the room, the smell in the air, the song that was playing. This is called state-dependent memory. Your hippocampus, the brain's librarian, files the experience, but it doesn't file it alone, it files it with its context. The song becomes part of the file, so when the song plays again, the whole file opens, not just the thought of the memory, the feeling of it, the body sensation, the emotional temperature, all of it retrieved at once. But here's where it goes even deeper. Music is processed differently than language. Words enter the brain through the prefrontal cortex, the thinking brain, but music enters through the limbic system, the emotional brain, the ancient brain, the part that doesn't understand, it's been 2 years. The part that doesn't understand, you should be over this. It bypasses reason entirely. It speaks directly to feeling. And there's something else. Music activates the brain's dopamine reward pathway, the same system triggered by food, by touch, by love. Neuroscientist Robert Zatore's research showed that music can cause anticipatory dopamine release. Your brain floods with feeling even before the most emotional part of the song arrives. It remembers where you used to feel, and it reaches for it again. This is why the song doesn't just remind you of the person, it becomes the person for a moment. It becomes the version of you who existed then. So what do you do with this? How do you stop letting a song ambush you? Or better yet, how do you use what it's telling you? Principle 1. Let the song be a signal, not a sentence. When a song breaks you open, something unprocessed is asking for attention. This is the brain's way of saying, this isn't finished yet. Don't run from it. Sit with it for 60 seconds. Just name what you feel in your body, not the story, the sensation. Tightness in the chest, heaviness in the arms. This is what psychologists call somatic awareness, and it's the first step in actually completing a grief cycle. Principle 2. Separate the song from the story. The song is a cue. It unlocked something. But the song is not the source of the pain. The source is something that happened, something that needed more time than you gave it. When you conflate the two, you avoid the song forever, and the grief never moves. When you separate them, you can begin to process what's actually underneath. Principle 3. Reconsolidate the memory intentionally.
Every time a memory is retrieved, the brain briefly makes it malleable again. This is called memory reconsolidation, and it's one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern neuroscience. You can't erase the memory, but you can gently update what it means. Listen to the song consciously, not as a wound, as a witness. Let it play, let yourself feel, and then consciously introduce something true and present. I survived that. I am not there anymore. That version of me was doing their best. Over time, the emotional charge softens, not because the memory fades, but because it picks up new context. Principle 4. Create new associations slowly. You don't have to retire the song forever. You can gradually build new memories onto it. Cognitive behavioral research shows that exposure with new context rewires emotional associations over time. Play the song in a safe, calm moment. Let it exist in a new setting. Let the library start filing new chapters into the same folder. Principle 5. Honor what the song is holding. Sometimes the song hurts, not because you lost someone else, but because you lost a version of yourself. The person you were when you first heard it, the hope you had then, the world that felt a certain way. That grief is real. That loss is worth mourning. Here is the one mental model to hold on to. Think of your emotional memory like a snow globe. Most of the time it's still, settled. You've learned to live with the landscape inside it. Then a song plays, and someone shakes the globe, and everything rises up again. The mistake is thinking the shaking broke something. It didn't. The snow was always there. You just couldn't see it. The song didn't create the pain. It revealed what was still waiting to be felt. And feeling it, really feeling it, is how the snow finally, slowly settles. You don't need to be afraid of the songs. You don't need to skip them. You don't need to build playlists around avoidance. The songs that break you open, they're not your enemies. They're your honest witnesses. They remembered what you were afraid to hold. They held it for you. And when you're ready, they'll give it back. Not to hurt you, but to let you finish something that never quite got to end. The brain doesn't forget what mattered. It archives it in sound. And maybe that's not a wound. Maybe that's one of the most human things about you. Take care of yourself.